So in today's training, we're going to talk about how a new agent with no money to invest can go to making a net profit $10,000 a month within the first 60 days. We're going to talk about the ugly truth about the industry and the things that nobody wants to tell you. Everybody paints rainbows and butterflies when you start, and then you find out the hard way how things really work. I want you guys to know firsthand from me exactly what you need to do, so there's no confusion, so there's a clear expectation, and most importantly, so you actually make the $10,000. So when you're new, here's the deal, right? You need to be able to invest in leads, and you don't have any money to invest. Most of you that are getting into this are not really in a financial position to do so. And even if you are, who wants to spend money and risk money in leads that you don't even know if they actually work? So for starters, we mitigate all your risk here at Level Up. So if you do work with us, if you don't work with us, you should hit us up and should work with us. We generate our leads in-house. We just want to guarantee you that you're going to be able to have a quality lead that you can actually convert into a sale. But in order for you to succeed and get to a $10,000 profit, you're going to need a $1,000 weekly investment. So in a month, it's $4,000 a month. So let's talk about how we can get you to having that type of money to invest if you start with $0. So as a new agent, the first thing you need to do is you need to go on your social media posts, make a video specifying that you just got your insurance license, why you got into the industry, what attracted you to the industry, and letting everybody know what you do for work. You're also going to take every contact in your phone book and create a text. You can go on ChatGPT and draft a script to let everybody know what you do. If you don't have a big warm market or a big audience, you're going to knock doors, give out business cards. We can make a separate video to strategize on this part of the video. But what you're going to do is you want to write and generate those $4,000 in income from your warm market. Now, here's the deal. You're going to make those $4,000, but you got to pretend that you made $0 because those $4,000 have got to be the budget for the entire month. Now, here at Level Up, one of the initiatives that we took is that for every new agent that comes in, our sister company Engage, which is owned by myself along with my partners, we're going to make you a professional video where you will actually be able to go to your audience, go on TikTok, go on your social platforms, and let everybody know what you do. We will help you get to that $4,000 number that you need to be at to be able to work on leads. The catch is when you get those $4,000 deposited, you're going to want to run with that money. Don't spend it, put it back in. Trust me, I'm about to show you some basic math that's going to get you to those $10,000 in your first 60 days in net profit. So now that we cover that part, let's talk about the math and how we get there. So you worked your warm market, you made the $4,000, you put it right back into leads. You didn't spend the money like most people do. Here's what we're going to do, right? So we're going to break that into $1,000, $1,000 a week in leads. Okay. Now those $1,000 at an average of $25 per leads is going to get you 40 leads to work. Now, $25 per leads, it's an IUL mortgage protection lead. That's the average cost. If you're working final expense, the same formula will apply. Your cost per lead is cheaper. You get more volume. So there'll be one variation, one variable, which we'll point out, but the same formula will apply because the numbers work in your favor. But okay, so you're working 40 leads a week. When you're working 40 leads a week, if you follow your training and you do everything correctly, which is probably the most important part, you're going to close 10% in your first go round. Meaning the first week working that batch of leads, you should close 10%. That is the average of any social media warm lead, which is what we're working in this scenario, which means you're going to make 4 sales a week. And we'll get this formula multiplied times 4 for the month once we're done. 4 sales, we're working IUL and mortgage protection. The average premium is $1,500. That is $6,000 in issue paid premium. Okay, so you wrote $6,000 a week. That's obviously $24,000 in a month. What you're gonna do with those $6,000 is you're gonna multiply that times 4, right? The same formula, and you're gonna have a gross production of $24,000 in a month. Here's where things get interesting, right? Because you'll hear somebody that they wrote $24,000, and I hear this in the industry all the time. So-and-so made $24,000 last month. That is not true. That is not how this works. I think this is where people mislead people, and that why we have a negative stigma to our industry. Writing $24,000, even at 100% comp, which is what we typically want to put you at when you work with us, you're not going to make $24,000. Here's where the math comes in. So that 24K, you got to take out 20% in chargebacks. And pardon my handwriting, hopefully you could read it. And then obviously you have an advance of 75%. So 24K minus 20% times 75%. Let's do some math in the calculator here. I'll try to do the calculator in front of you guys. Hopefully the camera catches it. You got $24,000 minus 20% chargebacks times your 70% advance, 75% advance, 14,400. Minus the $4,000 investment because it was $1,000 a week. Your net profit, bam, $10,400. So with this formula, which is what most people work in the industry, just so you guys know, somebody who wrote $24,000 actually netted $10,400. Okay. Now here's the cool thing. That 10% is the first go around. So as you get into your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth month, you're still investing the same amount in leads. You actually want to up that to $1,500 a week if you can, or you should. You will be able to with this type of numbers. But the cool thing is that 10% after 90 days should be closer to 15 or 20%, depending on how good your follow-up system is. So you're actually maximizing these lead batches in a tremendous way where you're gonna really, really maximize that profit. We're talking about your first 60 days, how you can go from $0 to making $10,400. So let's recap what we talked about, and then we'll talk about some of the caveats that can affect this formula that we just did. What we talked about was you're gonna come in, you're gonna make a video with us where we're gonna go to your warm market and we're gonna go make $4,000. We'll do whatever it takes to get you there. We will help you. Even if we gotta give you a no lead, we'll figure it out with your upline. We will make sure that you get to that $4,000. Your commitment needs to be that when you get $4,000 deposited into your account, then you're gonna put it right back into leads. We're back into leads. If you train, if you work, if you follow the proven system that we have in place, if you put in the work, you will close 10%. If you close 10%, these numbers will work themselves. Because that is the beautiful part about our business. Everything is formula driven. We can reverse engineer anything that we need to do. And you never know, you might be extremely good at this early on and your 10% might be 12, 13, 14% your first go round, and these numbers are even higher. But 10% is a conservative number where you can close your first go round, especially with the systems we have in place, and we will get you to this number. As you go on, you want to scale this number. I think your goal for your first year should be no less than $200,000 in net profit. And make no mistake, when I talk to you about money, I want to know how much you actually kept. I'm not interested in production numbers when people try to talk about them. I'm interested in how much money you spent and how much money was left in your bank account. You should be interested in the same thing. If you're watching this and your upline doesn't care about that, you should consider making a move, because here at Level Up, we'll make sure to help you. So guys, there you have it. That is a basic formula on how you can make $10,000 within your first 60 days. I truly hope this helped, and please subscribe to get more videos like this.